To lovingly set boundaries. I'm Dr. Trish Leigh, and this is very important in any relationship, but especially if you are recovering from infidelity or from finding out that your husband has a pornography habit or addiction. Okay, so setting boundaries can be tricky for many women, which is why I'm here. This is actually a question that came in from someone. Please, if you have questions, email them to me at info@drtrishleigh.com. I will answer them and get a video on YouTube, but I'll also email the video right to you. So if you have a question, I am a sexual addiction recovery coach. I have the answer for you. Email me. Okay, so back to boundaries. On boundaries, we need to lovingly set them so that we know what is expected from the people in our surroundings. So let's just say specifically within your relationship. Here's one boundary that I have, which my poor husband would probably die if he knew that I was sharing this, but it's a funny story and it makes an awesome point. Okay, here's the story. So a lot of times, I have my own business. I help in our private practice office. I work there too. So basically I'm running 2 businesses and I have 5 children. It is a full life, as I like to say. So I love to take a good bath. I have lavender Epsom salts. I put lavender essential oil in. I'll put the candles all around. I get the spa music going and I lock the doors. So the boundary is, and it's always been, that if I go to take a bath, nobody interrupts me. Sometimes I pour a glass of Chardonnay or I get a sleepy time chamomile tea going. But the whole point is the kids know that's mom time. Don't interrupt. Now my husband knew that, except for one day I get it all ready and I go run to do something and I come back, he's in the bath. He's like, I thought I'd join you tonight. And I'm like, no. And he's looking at me like, what do you mean? And I said, no, when I take a bath, that's me time, private time. And he begrudgingly got out and he looked absolutely devastated. But it is not a personal thing about him. That's the only time I get time to myself to relax. So after my bath, I was feeling a little bad and I said to him, imagine this. Now, my husband's an avid golfer. He golfs a few times a week. I said, imagine you're all excited to go golfing. You get your golf outfit on, you put your golf clubs in the car, you drive over to the golf club, you get to the first tee, and there I am at the tee box. And I say, hey, honey, I thought I'd golf with you today. It is the exact same. So it is just assumed that I won't go golfing with him because that's his man time. So it's less clear that the bath time is my woman time, but it's my private time, which is why I lock the doors. But I had to specifically say to him, you are not coming in the bath with me. This is my time. That is how you lovingly set the boundary. And I do think an analogy can help the cause, because once he understood that, then he was no longer offended that I basically asked him to leave. So that's one very clear way of setting a boundary just within your relationship. Now, if you're repairing your relationship from sexual boundaries being crossed, you may need to think about what are the things in my relationship, especially when it comes to sex, that are really bothering me. And I know from working with many women that it can be very different for many women. One woman likes to be with her grandchildren by herself because her husband's too controlling and kind of trips the kids out. That's okay. That's a good boundary. If you're going to enjoy your time more with your grandkids and your husband's only there to aggravate, go for it. Another woman I know, her husband would wake her up for sex all the time, either in the middle of the night because he would stay up a lot later, and then at 1 a.m. he's waking her up. That the boundary is, if I'm asleep, you do not wake me up to have sex. And then there's a consequence for violating that boundary. And the consequence, you can come up with that with your relationship, with your partner. Now, boundaries extend to everybody. And the reason I'm making this video today is I just had this discussion. I have boundaries with my children. I have young adult women. My teenage girls always go into my closet and take my stuff. The boundary is, if you ask me, you will 99 out of 100 times be able to use or borrow or have the thing that you are looking to use. But if you take it without asking, there's a consequence. The boundary is, you don't take my stuff without asking. And so then that is respected. And of course, I had to have a couple chats and a couple consequences, but it's understood now that you don't take my stuff without asking. That is a boundary. So then if you set that boundary, then you're not disappointed on the back end. So an example I just talked with someone is they let their daughter wear their shirt and then she got stains on it. So my assumption is if I let my daughters wear anything of mine, it's never coming back. So that is, or if it comes back, it'll be in 3 pieces. So then I'm not upset because I let them use it knowing that I was okay with it being destroyed. So the things that I'm not okay with being destroyed, those are the things that I do not let them use. That's how the boundary protects you from being aggravated on the back end. Okay, go out there, set those boundaries. It will absolutely help your brain stay calm and focused. And remember, control your brain or it'll control you.